After you sew your opening shut for your casing, you are going to be doing something called stitch in the ditch. This is a stitch that you can do. It's going to be right on where a seam line is, and it's going to make it so that you're sewing on top of the elastic so it won't twist when you wash it. Once you have your opening sewn, you're probably going to have the back of your shorts is going to be pretty flat, and then the rest of them are going to be wrinkled where the elastic is. Before you stitch in the ditch, you want to make it so it's even. So you're just going to kind of stretch it out. Oops. Stretch it out like this so it looks like it's going to be even all the way around. Okay? Now when you do the stitch in the ditch, you're going to be working on the right side of your fabric. So right now my shorts are inside out and I can see the wrong side. I'm going to flip them so that they're right side out. And I'm going to be working now on the right side of my fabric. Okay? When I stitch in the ditch, I'm going to put my shorts in, and I'm going to only be working where the seams are. So right where the seam is, I'm going to be putting the needle down and sewing a straight line. So I can go back to being my stitch number 1, so I can do my straight stitch. And I'm going to open this up like this, and I'm going to check to make sure that when I put my needle down, it's right where I want it to be. Okay, then I can put down my presser foot, and I'm going to sew with a back stitch, and then I'll sew a straight line down to the bottom of my casing, and then I'm going to back stitch again. I'm only sewing where my elastic is. I don't have to sew all the way down the leg. Okay, so I'm going to go forwards, backwards, when I get to the end, I'm going to back stitch again. And then when you take these out and you clip off your thread tails, your thread should be hidden in where that seam was. So the whole point of this is to sew, but to make it so that you can't see it from the right side of your shorts. So there's a seam that goes through here that's keeping my elastic where I want it, but I won't be able to see it from the outside because it's hidden. Okay, I do that to one side, and I'm going to do it to the rest of my seams as well. If you don't have a tag in the back, you can use a zigzag stitch to indicate where the back of your shorts is so you'll know how to put them on. If you do have a tag, you won't need to do that. You can still do a straight stitch through your back seam. Okay, so once you do one, you kind of stretch it out again, make sure it looks even, and then you'll put your shorts back in. Remember, you're doing this on the right side, not on the wrong side. Line up your needle so it's going to be right on the seam. Back stitch. And when you get to the end, you can back stitch again. And then you'll take this out. Cut off your thread tails. You would do the same on the side. And then on the back, this one has a tag, but if it didn't have a tag, I would do a zigzag stitch. Okay, so I would put this in and everything would be exactly the same, except I would change this setting up to number 8. I would put the shorts in, I can put my presser foot down, and then I'm going to sew zigzag with a back stitch, back stitch again, and then I would take it out. So the only difference is instead of there being a straight stitch, there's going to be a zigzag, and that's how you'll be able to tell what the front and the back of your shorts is when you put them on. Okay, the other side seam would then be a straight stitch again, so you'll have the center and the front would be straight stitch, the side seams will be straight stitches, the back one will be a zigzag stitch if you don't have a tag to know where the back is.